All right, guys. James Showers here, Nomadic Ink channel. We got Jesus. He's gonna be showing off his bags. He's got these leathers that he bought from Ames a while back. We're gonna take a peek at the tool pouch here. And what do we got here? We got a nice hatchet. Go through your bag. Show me what you got here.
This hatchet from Lowe's. It's one of the new ones. The old ones are like all wood and stuff. Pencil, Sharpie, rasp.
This guy's rasp.
And a keyhole.
Nice.
And blade's missing. I don't know where
his blade's missing right now. This is and he's got a circle cutter in the back. This is his drywall setup. Now we do a lot of collated screws, so he's got this hook on the front for his screws. He also has a fastener pouch over here. What do we got in the fastener pouch?
Some snips, speed square, tape measure, and some...
Now he's got the nice fastener pouch. Look how many bags he's actually got. He can put 3 different fasteners in there. He can actually put 4 different fasteners and a tape if he actually wanted to. Yep. That's definitely a plus. But like I said, oh yeah, he's got his screw punch. But most of the time in these commercial settings, we're actually going to be using these strips lately, but it's nice to have the extra pouches for fasteners. Yep. We got any back pouches?
These are just extras for like...
for when you need some clamps for your studs.
Tape. These are the extra stuff that I need.
Nice. And how's this leather holding up? It looks a little bit thin, but nothing's like worn out or ripped.
It's pretty thin, light.
That's good.
I've been having them for like 2 years almost.
Cool. And you bought those at Ames, you said?
Yeah, they're pretty old school. Not like the new ones are all like comfy and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Straps and all that, but...
Right on. Cool, guys. Well, I just wanted to show you the tool bags here. His drywall setup. Take one more little look around.
Do I want to poke my head around this corner or not?
Cody doesn't want to poke his head around this corner. Now, let's take a peek at Cody's bag. Now, this is the setup you really want.
So, right here, that's all you need if you're an insulator.
Oh,
one
shit.
Pouch.
All right.
And the cell phone.
I don't even want to know. They're in there taking pictures by the wall.
All right, guys. And then we got the man back here. He's got bags. I'm not even allowed to show him, but all right. Later, guys. Peace. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed checking out Jesus' bags, and yeah, that was kind of a fun little deal. Those are some of my favorite hangers, drywall hangers right there. Adrian and Jesus, super cool guys. I've been bugging them for a little while to do like a bag review, and that was Jesus and my last day on that job, so I was like, come on, let's do it real quick, you know, and he's a good sport, threw his bags on for me and stuff, and yeah, everyone's always camera shy. It's so weird to put yourself out there for everybody and kind of, you know, whatever set in stone, right? Okay, so to add to this little video of us checking out his bags and going through what he had in his tool belt there, I'm gonna show you guys what I got in my bags. So, like I said, that was the last day on that job. I got a 1-week hiatus. Coming out here to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, going to do some drywall hanging. So, got all my tools that I'd normally use at the job here, and I figured I'd show you what I keep in my bag. All right? So first off, what I got wedged in here is my actual tool bags. So, this was just so I could get them out of the job. Now, if I can get them out of this bag, that'd be a whole nother thing. 15 minutes later, pulled these guys out of the bag. I was basically set up to do framing and some light hanging when I was on that job. So I did have my rasp for doing some dense shield outside in the building. I got my hatchet. Now, this is one of my favorite hatchets. The only thing that could be different with this is maybe it would have a cut head. You know, if you're doing a lot of drywall hanging with some nails, you'd want to get a cut head right here so it's not denting up the lid, the ceiling when you're whacking stuff. Other than that, I really like it. It's been pretty solid. Used it as a pry bar many a times, and it hasn't bent yet, so that's a keeper. I looked for this on Amazon. I didn't really do a really intense look, but the only thing that really came up was the Fat Max one, which I assume is probably pretty good. Fat Max normally makes pretty good stuff, and this is a Stanley hammer anyway, so it's basically the cousin to this one. All right, got myself a few C-clamps. Okay, I'm gonna do a video later on which kind is my favorite C-clamp. I I have one of these and a Milwaukee C-clamp, and I was gonna kind of talk about those. But all right, what else we got in here? We got a couple tool shields. I got this extra skinny bit. It's for a collated screw gun, but it works real good to get into some tight areas. Got an extra 6-inch shaft. They got gummed up from some adhesive on a star silent sealing we were doing. Here's my other tool shield, and I've got myself a nice little Stanley 199 in here. Now this is basically a good classic drywall knife, just a good classic overall knife. They got many variations to knives that you can use, and I've always come back to the number 199. I don't know, it's just what I enjoy. Got myself not even sure what this is. No, this is a torpedo level. Okay, I busted this somehow and it lost all the juice in this one, but I don't really use a 45-degree angle set so much. I really just use a 0 or a 90. So they make some nicer ones than this, ones that light up and everything. I'm about ready to retire this and find myself a nicer one, a cooler one. But for the most part, this one's been pretty solid. It's got nice magnets on it still. It hasn't worn out there. And yeah, it's got a good solid weight to it. And it slides right in here. Perfect fit for my bags. I love it. Got myself some snips. Now listen. These things are toast. I'm not going to lie. Okay, I tried snipping some stuff I probably shouldn't have snipped. I got some nicks and everything all through the blade, and it could use some juice. Okay. These right here are Midwest right angle, I believe, right angles. And I take and I switch the handles so that you can kind of cut like you're meant to cut. These are a tempered black. You can find these on Amazon. You pay a little bit more money for the tempered black, and I really can't say that they do anything more for you. I mean, I didn't, you know, when you first get them, sure, they feel pretty smooth, but you know, you got brand new snips, they all feel pretty smooth. These didn't really last too much longer. The black ends up kind of wearing off a little bit, you know, the temper, so I don't know. And yeah, they wear like every other snips, but the Midwest have definitely lasted the longest out of every other brand that I've used so far. Got a couple pencils in here, basically, nothing too cool. Circle cutter. This one's not fancy. The only thing I recommend if you're getting a circle cutter is to not have one that has one of those removable tips, because you're going to lose that tip every time, okay? That's my only tip on that. Got a couple shafts up here. Got a short shaft for the screw gun, and I got a shaft that I stole from Chuck. I didn't mean to, Chuck, sorry, but this is what I was using to drive some lugs or something into some roto pins. So I was using that hardcore bit, and I never gave it back, so it's mine until further notice. Have myself a good 25-foot Stanley Fat Max. Now I got the one with no magnet this time because I was doing some drywall, and I've just come accustomed to the one with the magnet. Even though it gets hooked onto a few different things, it's just so much easier, because as soon as I went back to hanging, or not hanging, but steel stud framing, oh man, this thing's just popping off every stud. It would have been so much nicer to have the magnet. So I'm getting one of those ordered up here pretty soon too. And what do we got here? We got ourselves a square. I had a really cool Johnson one that had a bunch of little notches and stuff, so you could like pop your blade in it and you know, do rip cuts and whatever, but I lost it. So here's just a regular Swanson speed square that you pick up at Home Depot. I got a couple other bits here in the front. This one's for a lag driver, and another small collated bit if you had a the nose cone, you pop this thing on, I think, but I don't know. It's just kind of cool. I was using this for a punch, to tell you the truth. Tap-in screws. Alright, that's what's in my actual tool bags, and let's start pulling some stuff out of the black bag. Alright? Throw those down there, let them spill screws all over the floor. Okay, what do I got in here? So besides having some just good hand tools that you're going to want to keep in your bag, you're going to want to keep some other stuff along with you as well. Things that you can keep in the gang box but just not on you. So these are some knee pads, obviously. They're not too bad. They got a nice hard dense surface here, and the rest of it's fairly padded. I don't use these very often, but if I'm doing a job where I'm going to be on my knees probably all day, it's highly recommended that you put these on. Your knees are going to thank you at the end of the day. Okay, so I keep a pair of those in there. They're not very expensive, maybe like 15 or 20 bucks. It's just the A&P brand. All right, what else do we got in here? Hey, if I'm doing some drywall, I'm going to need a kicker. But I don't want to keep this thing on me all the time. So just got myself an old beat up kicker. I don't know who tapped my my little flange down, but I haven't been able to wedge it back up. So maybe if I put a little bit more effort into it, I could probably get it. But for right now, it's just going to stay down. I like to use that for my actual toe to pop up against that when I'm kicking. But I've made it work without it. Okay, what else do we got? Boom, a nice long shaft. This one's cool because it's got a, it's cool and not cool at the same time. Like it's got this, so it's going to basically lock your bit in here. I don't even know how to get this thing out, actually. It's been so long. But it's such a big head that you can't get it into certain areas. You know, like if you get it around some metal, boom, you got this huge head and it's hitting on some of the flanges. So I use this really to maybe extend another shaft and just like have this gnarly longer shaft to get back into some areas I can't get into. Or, you know, if I'm having problems with whatever tip I'm using falling off my other long shaft, then I use this one. What else we got in here? Well, I got myself a good 3-way. Now this is the commercial setup with some twist locks. You're not really going to use this so often, but when you need it, hey, it's kind of nice to have one. I got a bigger C-clamp right here. I had another one, but hey, these things end up disappearing for some reason. I think people just think they're cool and decide they want one, I guess. So they put it in their bags. But I got one, and I should have 2 or 3, but one's been doing me just fine. Now, these are good for those hard-to-reach places that the C-clamps, the smaller C-clamps aren't getting. You're just going to need a little bit more room to get around, like, say, 2 studs put together or something. You're going to want that bigger C-clamp. Here we go. Here's another pair of snips. Now, I believe these are a tempered pair as well, and they're pretty mangled up, too, but they're probably better than these ones. These were just some spares that I had that I upgraded once they kind of got this nick. Now these ones are toast, so I probably put these ones in my bags. But it's kind of nice to have a spare set because, you know, if you end up ruining these like I have and they're getting hard, you can always get back to your bag and grab a new set or a slightly better set till you can go buy one at the store. Now, I ended up just finding these on this last job, and they ended up in my bag. So I'm sorry. But these things come in handy for like just pinching some certain stuff, or pinching some metal to some other metal, or if you have your tape, you can kind of clip your tape measure to a piece of metal or something, and you know, run out a long layout or something. So these kind of come in handy. Even clipping up some, like, you know, like clipping this tarp up to something, these would work great. So they're just kind of nice to have. I didn't mean to snag them, they just ended up in my bag. Here's that longer shaft that I was talking about. Now this one's not bad, but things flop out of this tip a lot. You can see that it's really thin around this edge. It's like been tapered in, and that kind of works pretty good because you can get into an area, and the most part, this is just enough room to allow you to bend around some metal flanges or whatever and get into where you're going. Got a couple more of these little small shafts sitting in the bottom here. Now I have a this is like a 2-inch knife, and it's kind of cut all weird and whatever. Now I just keep this just for random times when I need to. Well, it's got a little bit of red mud on here. We're doing a lot of red mud fire stopping, and it's got regular drywall in there. So I just use this for random mudding when I need to do a firewall, fire tape, or if I've got some like stuff I need to scrape off of a surface, I'll end up grabbing this thing. It's been pretty nice. Or if you run a bead of caulk and you totally miss your seam, take this and wipe it back in there and don't look like you suck. Okay, what else we got here? Got myself a lanyard. This is nice, man. Having a good tool lanyard. You never know when you're going to be working above somebody and you're going to want to tie off your screw gun or whatever kind of tool you're using, say like a hammer or something. This way you don't lose it and knock someone's skull in. This right here is basically for this laser I got here. Oh man, come on. Got this shoved down here. Now I don't recommend grabbing one of these Bosch lasers. They're pretty cheap, but I just got one just in case I don't have a line laser. I've just got like a backup, you know. Sometimes you get to those jobs and there's only so many lasers per so many guys. Also have a pointer. Like I said, I don't recommend these. They're just they're cheap, you know, but they get the job done when you're in a pinch. If you don't have a laser, this is better than nothing, right? Okay, set those to the side. What else we got in here? I have no... Oh, this is a bag for one of those lasers. It's all just sitting at the bottom. I never put them back in the bag. I was doing that for a while, but it's just so much extra time. I keep this tool shield in here. I'm not too sure why. I just have an extra tool shield. But sometimes if I don't have my bags on, I can grab this, throw it in my pocket, and then be able to, you know, keep a tool in there, you know, throw my knife in there or something without damaging my pocket. A couple extra shafts. When I'm doing a lot of steel stud framing, I'll keep these in my bags because you never know. One of these is probably bent. I just kept it anyways. Here's my little pry bar. It's pretty big for what I do, but it ends up working really well for pulling out pins out of track and whatever that you've just shot down. It's pretty gnarly. You can see where I've beat it against some things quite a bit. It's got some weight to it. That's one thing that's one reason I don't keep it in my bags right now. I'm tired of carrying all this weight around. And one more set of spare snips. Now even these ones are better. I'll have to figure out which ones I actually cut better. And what else we got here? We got some extra pencils. You never know when you need pencils. Oh, here's my extra tape. It's got a nick somewhere in here. This one's magnetic, but it's got a bunch of nicks in here. So this is just kind of, if I break my other tape, I'll use this. But those nicks kind of suck because if you pull your tape out fast or retract it too fast, it could cut you. Now look at this. I forgot I even had this. I got to put it back in my bags. Look at this little baby shaft. It's cute. It's just the cutest thing ever. I've got it just for the cute factor. I don't ever use it. It's just, you know, you're having a bad day. Got this cute little shaft. Your world's just been brightened up. Okay. All right. What do we got going on here? Boom. James Showers. You gotta label your stuff. Did I spell my own name wrong? No, I'm just kidding. All right. This is the frame and square. Now, I used to not use these for the longest time. I'd always use the speed square. What do you need a frame and square for? This thing's awesome. This thing's going to give you such a better, like, straighter line. And once you actually start using it, you know, you can really pin up some, you know, use it to line up some points with your laser. I don't know. It's got its purposes, that's for sure. So I keep this guy around. And if you're doing any framing, I mean, come on, man. If you don't have a frame and square, what are you doing? And what else do we got? Just some little stuff here. I got some extra blades. Now these things suck, but they give them to you for free. I got a nose cone for one of the collated guns. That way it kind of changes it to a regular feeding screw gun. And this is all part of the laser kit. A hex head shaft. You're going to need one of these. This one's magnetized in here with no way to clean it out. So it's kind of just fills up with junk and it kind of sucks. So I don't like that one. That's why it stays in the bottom of my bag. Should probably throw it away, but whatever. Okay, more pencils. Oh yeah, here, this is a good little tool. Plumb bob. Come on, man. Are you setting doors? Are you what else are you using this thing for? You know, this thing's awesome. You know, before lasers came out, this is how you framed, is you used a plumb bob. This is going to be your straightest point. And the reason we use these when we frame, or when we level out doors, is because you know that this is square. You can get a laser that's out a quarter or something. Now you just set that door a quarter out. You know for a fact that this is whatever it is at the bottom that it is at the top. And if it's not, that's how you readjust the door. Okay? This is a plumb bob. They also have plumb betties. And it's just like a female dangling right here. I don't know, man. Equal rights, okay? You don't want to offend anyone that is a male tool or something. I don't know. Enough of that rant. I don't really care either which way. Just I thought it was funny. Drywall bit. These got a guide point on them. These are awesome for when you're doing regular house stuff, but if you're doing a lot of metal, metal studs and whatever, metal boxes, if you don't have the point, these things work so much better around those metal boxes. But for the most part, the guide points are nice, so you're not just going crazy with the router bit. I think that might be... Sorry if I'm shaking you guys around there. What else do I got here? I just have a thing of tape. And whatever's in here is stuff I don't... Oh my gosh, I got stuff in here. Okay. Stuff I don't really use so often. Like I said, I'm sorry if I'm shaking you guys around. I'm on a... Parked my trailer in a weird spot, and you're sitting up on one of my laundry baskets for the best view. So enjoy. Here's a screwdriver I don't really use so much anymore. Now I would use this for my knife, changing my blades, but it's like, why even keep this around when I already have a screw gun on me? So get rid of the weight. Another shaft, and this one probably for sure is bent, so I don't know why I keep that around. And here's just another nice pry bar, you know, cat's paw, whatever you want to call it. This is just my extra one. That other one's not working, can't get into a spot. Boom. This one's a little bit lighter too, so I might end up thinking about using this one. I got a file. I bought this file because I wanted to use it to sharpen up my snip tips or my snip blades. And I'll tell you what, I dulled the shit out of the one I did. So it was like I just basically made my snips totally worthless. Not too sure why I have this because I don't know how to use it. But it's in there. Probably because I bought it. Here's another screwdriver. Same deal. Why do I have a Phillips screwdriver when I have a screw gun? So get rid of the weight. Here is a circle cutter. I don't know why I have this second circle cutter. This is a Goldblatt one. I normally don't buy these. It's probably someone let me borrow it for a second, and into the black bag it went. So if this is yours, I'm super sorry. This is one that sucks. Like I pointed out before, it does have a sharper point, which is nice because my other one's been dull, so maybe I'll start using this one instead. Who knows? But it's got this little key right here, basically an Allen wrench head, and you can screw and unscrew so you can replace this tip as it gets dull or whatever. But this thing always comes out, loosens up, and then you lose this tip, and then this thing's just throwaway. So I try not to buy those. This right here is a collated shaft put into a regular shaft, and I just can't get it out. So, but this works pretty good for when you're trying to get in, like I said, one of those hard to reach places. But and it's kind of a little bit kind of moving, you know, so you can kind of like maneuver in some weird little spots. So this is kind of a cool little homemade tool. But that's it. They're married now. And a pen that Chuck gave me. Thanks, Chuck, for the two tools that I've swiped from you. Just basic marker. Dealing with steel studs, you're going to want a nice marker to mark up. What else we got in here? I know we got one more thing. Here's a screw gun clip. I got this, but I just really don't like it so much. I normally just hook my screw gun onto my tool bags. So here in my bags it sits right here in my black bag. And what else we got in here? A couple more shafts. This one's cool. You can put a tip in here, obviously, and then throw your sleeve over it. This is good for those spots where your screw keeps popping off, you know, so that way you can kind of reach out somewhere and tap it and boom, send your deal in. This kind of ended up just, it kind of pops off and doesn't work so well, so it's just there for emergencies if I'm really needing, you know, a tool to make sure my tip doesn't fall off. Most of the time, you're relying on skill, so hopefully your skill's up there enough that your screws aren't just flopping off your tip. And one more 6-inch shaft. All right, guys, I think that's done. I hope you guys liked this video. Yeah, it was just kind of fun. Comment down below if you'd like to see more videos like this, or you have suggestions on wanting to see different things about my tools or my my work or anything else. Like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Oh, I already told you that, but check out the description. Stalk me on Facebook, Instagram, message me, whatever you need to do. All right, see you guys on the next one. Peace.